Hey, what's up, Cheesehead Nation? I'm Bernie Bango. This is Amar Desai. We're here to talk pregame, and if you don't mind, Amar, you know me, I got an opening statement,
Go
man.
for it.
And
Go for it, man. I
all
was
right,
gonna pregame time, babe. We gotta try to get
yes,
through the show as quickly as we can so we get ready for the game. So I'm with you, man.
I'll make it short and sweet, baby.
No, man, do you
With
think? Do you think?
with the Vikings eking out a win yesterday against in one of the ugliest games I've watched against the Las Vegas Raiders. Today's game's importance has increased. Vikings now 7-6, hold the 6th seed. Packers sit at 6-6 in the 7th spot with a traffic jam of teams behind them at 6-7. Rams, Seahawks, Falcons, and Saints. Not to mention Packers. If we fall into a trap game, because some people have been putting that bad juju out there, we'd only be one game ahead of the Bears. We can't let that happen. Packers have been a feel-good story for the last couple of weeks. They've been focused, they've been efficient, they've been energetic, and playing with a bit of a chip on their shoulder. And I would say they're playing with a little bit of house money right now. Many of us thought we were packing it in this season after the Rasul Douglas trade, but since then, this youth has taken a step forward. Goody's draft class might be the best in recent history, and Love continues to take steps forward as a starter as this season progresses. I am proud of the resilience and growth of this team and staff. Tonight, we get to show it off during prime time. So let's get it, baby. Let's go.
All right. I don't even know how I can follow something like that because you're 100% right. I think with everything you just said, Jordan Love has said that we're treating every single one of these games as a playoff game, and I think that's the kind of mentality you have to go into it. You don't want them to peak at the wrong time. I think that right now where they are, seeing a week 14, week 15, we're peaking at the right time. And if we can take that into hopefully into the playoffs, we have a chance because these teams, like you just said, Minnesota Vikings squeaked out a win 0-3. They just benched their third, fourth string quarterback. They're about to put in another backup guy who we have experience with when he was at the Niners.
Oh, Ummer, you cut out, dude. But no, as Ummer was saying,
I'm
right?
good. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. What I was gonna say is like we have our destiny in front of us. We control our destiny. No different than last year. And I think one way for not only Matt LaFleur to solidify himself as coach of the year, but also Jordan Love to be like, hey guys, guess what? I'm the new sheriff in town. Hence the little TikTok that Jordan Love's girlfriend put out there with the little cowboy outfit on. But the truth is he is. And if he can do what Rodgers couldn't do last year, bearing injuries and things like that, get this team into the playoffs and make some noise. Truth is, like, we do got everything out in front of us. And we had a lot of things go our way last night. Like yesterday with Baltimore Ravens taking a punt return to the house against the Rams. That reminds us of what? When the Eagles and the Giants played in 2010, and Deshaun Jackson took one to the house in the last seconds of the game to get us into the playoffs. And that win over Rams just helped us propel us from like a 40% chance to like a 60% chance. And if we win out, 100% chance of getting in. And I was like, just seeing how these things, and then looking Detroit losing, right? It sounds crazy because we weren't even thinking about this in that 4-game losing streak. But no joke, we could even win the division. It could happen because Detroit played Minnesota 2 more times. So we got a chance. I mean, everything's out in front of us. I can't wait to see what we do tonight. I am so shook about. I'm one of those fools, that damn trap game thing. And the truth is, I had that same feeling going into Detroit, having Kansas City coming to us, and Jordan Love and LaFleur proved me wrong. And I want them to keep proving me wrong until this damn season's over.
Yeah. I hear you, man. And that trap game, right? It's in New York, right? The London game last year, right? Our second half was worth about a wet fart, man. I don't know how to explain that. But in tonight's game, the reason why I'm scared about this trap is some injuries. Like who's in, who's out. Let's address these injuries before we start talking about these offenses and defenses.
Yeah. One of my biggest ones. Oh, I was gonna say I'll go defense. I'll go defense on both teams. You can hit offense. I was gonna say with us not having Quay Walker out there, McDuffie's gonna really need to step up with Devontae Campbell. Devontae Campbell had a high ankle sprain early this year. he's still. I think that's the reason why his play's fallen off a lot. So he's still playing through that because normal high ankle sprains, that's a 2-month thing normally, right? And him being a linebacker who needs lateral movement, I can just see him trying to gut it out for the team. So I respect him for that. And then for us to not have Jair out there again, part of me, that sucks because I don't care what anybody has to say. I think Jair would be out there if he could be out there. I wouldn't be surprised if his shoulder got just as messed up as it did in 2021, where he literally broke his shoulder and he had to try and tackle a 250-pound running back, Najee Harris. So, but let's be real though. Watching Corey Ballantyne and watching Carrington Valentine play, these guys have been playing the lights out. And I don't want to really mess up that continuity that we have going there in the back end. So Green Bay, even though we are been down guys, we've been down guys, and we're still showing up. And our defense really needs to just keep playing that sound football. They got to do everything they can to take it to DeVito. Cannot let him get comfortable. Cannot let Saquon get going. We need our offense to score fast, and then to put them literally in nonstop passing situations. And for the Giants,
absolutely,
Dexter Lawrence playing, I was hoping he wouldn't. He is an absolute monster in the middle of that defensive line. Last year we had to worry about him and Leonard Williams. This year is just him, 340-pound guy out of Clemson. He just wrecks games. I mean, the Giants defense is not good. I mean, it's just what it is. It's ranked like in the bottom 30s when it comes to both pass and rush. But when he's in there, their rush defense goes up by average by almost a half a yard. One player, that's pretty big freaking deal. So I think like with these injuries on both sides for us and them, we've been playing like this. Dexter's been playing most of the year, but we've been playing like this. And so I really just kind of hope that, Joe Barry doesn't let us down and we can really just keep moving on with this because, injuries has been the name of the game this year for everybody in the NFL. And that's why I think Joe Barry's been getting a lot of this grace because he's been doing what he's been doing without having the star marquee players that he would normally have on that side of the field.
Absolutely. And no, it was just yesterday when I was doing my Big Cheese show and we had a giant content creator on and he was talking about how it was like Ashawn Robinson and Dexter Lawrence. They're two big Giants interior D linemen were both like questionable. And I was like, oh my gosh, if these two dudes sit out, we just need to jam AJ Dillon down their throat, But now here we are, and both those guys are playing, and it's going to have a different feel to it. So good call on those, man. And as for the offenses, right? Packers are going to be without Aaron Jones, right? Like it's just like I was checking as much as I could at work today, and then I drove straight home, and jumped on the camera, and but then of course Christian Watson, right? He was just starting to get in the groove. He was making big plays, and it was a non-contact. His hamstring. Man, I wish we could give him a new one. But if you look on the other side of the ball, I think it's Darren Waller, right? He's on the IR for the Giants, right? Dynamic tight end. He's got a hamstring issue as well. Obviously, Tommy DeVito, Tommy Cutlet. He is not the guy that they're trying to put out there. So clearly they got some, Daniel Jones is on the IR. I think Tyrod Taylor just came off the IR, but I don't think we'll see him tonight. And then I know they got is it Paris Campbell is out, and then they have Bryce Ford Wheaton. That's another wide receiver that's out. So Giants are dealing with some issues in their receiving core, tight ends and receivers. Then I think the Giants have like 4 offensive linemen on the IR right now. Yeah. So, some of that is depth. Some of those are starters. So they're patching together an offensive line. So like you pointed out, Amar, got to get Giants in 3rd and long tonight, man. We cannot let Saquon eat us up. And, that's where it's going to be. That's where it's going to be. It's going to be one in the trenches, I think. And we just got to keep them to those third and longs.
With Evan Neal being out, Evan Neal was like their right tackle who's like been just really, really bad. And then I kind of wanted him to play because the guy that's been in there, Tyree Wilson, is actually not that bad. He's actually better than Evans right now. But the truth is like you're right. This is one of those games where like Joe Barry's defense can stymie guys like Herbert and Mahomes and Goff, right? But this is the kind where you don't need to be playing two-shell. You don't need to be playing this kind of like cat-mouse game with the quarterback. You really need to Kenneth Sal to stop the run and don't get fooled by play action And honestly, this is that game where what we've noticed in the last 3 weeks was what? Our offense has been on fire. Our
Yeah,
offense has been
absolutely.
pushing, has really been putting our defense in a better position to be able to play with the ears pinned back. We just need that again, because the truth is the defense can only do so much. I am now making excuses for Barry, but the truth is he can only do so much if your offense isn't scoring and keeping your defense on the sidelines. There's only so much you can do. And I think this is this game that you got to really just chip away at that team. They're going to blitz them like crazy. I mean, the funny thing is that game plan wise, there's no different than Spagnuolo. I mean, they're going to be blitzing them just like Spagnuolo was doing. But Jordan excels against the blitz. It's like the times where he has too much time to throw is where he makes mistakes. But when he has all the time in the world, like when he has pressure in his face, he just is. I mean, I'm sorry, no. Even when he has time, he's killing him. Right? He's on something right now. And I'm surprised he ain't been drug tested like for the last 3 weeks. He's doing something else, man. I love it.
He's absolutely locked in. So let's jump into this talk now. Let's start with Packers offense versus Giants defense. So Packers offense, right? We're seeing it improve. They're overall they're rated as middle of the pack. But I think if you take our last 5 games and you just rated offensive teams in the last 5 games, I think we're looking like a top 10 team. Yeah. We're absolutely killing it right now. But thing is, though, with no Jones, right, Dylan's going to need another solid game. No Watson or Musgrave. Dobbs, Reed, Wicks, Heath. We need you to be the playmakers. We know that you can be. Avoid the drops. Tucker Kraft, needs to stay violent. I love this kid. He's the type of dude that runs to the fight. And I don't know if you saw some of his comments recently about blocking, and someone said he sounds like a sociopath. Yes. I absolutely love it, man.
When their breath exits their body from me being on top of them after I've stuffed them into the ground from blocking them, I'm like, this man is a psychopath, and I love it. Yeah. And that's what you need. And honestly, I've been watching him these last few weeks. He's been playing like that. Like he's been playing with a lot of aggression, with a lot of power. And the thing is, like, people that have seen him play at South Dakota State, they all would say that this guy is a beast. Like he is a playmaker. Just because he played at FCS school doesn't mean anything. The guy can really play. And you've seen that. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's looking for contact, but he's smart about it. Like he's not trying to get hurt. He's not trying to hurt nobody, but he is not going to go down with the first hit. And, man, him and Sims, man, they're really surprising me a lot. And I'm with you on that too. Like our playmakers, like the thing is like when you would have guys like Devontae go down, you'd freak out. You're like, oh shit, who's going to step up, right? Yeah. Back then we had Lazard, we had Cobb. Now we have all these young guys, and we got Malik Heath out there. Matt Snyman just did a piece on him where like he literally almost died. And he has
I read that piece, man.
Right? Yeah, he has a scar under his armpit that reminds him every day that he shouldn't even be here.
Both lungs collapsed. Yeah.
Yeah, like, dude, like that's insane. And for me, I'm like, that's who you need playing, being your receivers, being your playmakers. Like, I really feel like this is going to be a good, like, we already know Reed's the man, right? Yeah, I think it's going to be a coming out game for Wicks. I think all of us know Wicks is good. I'm hoping that the nation will see that too. And Dylan's been doing great. Dylan is the December running back. I mean, he's built that way, and he's picking up right where he left off December of last year, and we just need that again. I am absolutely terrified, not even about the team, but more about just MetLife Stadium's turf. I don't even know.
I didn't even think of that yet.
Yeah, like that one scares me the most because that has stolen so many seasons this year. Like this year alone, so many players, including Aaron Rodgers, a whole bunch of guys have literally lost their seasons because of that turf. And I'm just like, man, oh man, like we have lucked out for the most part when it comes to playing on turf, like in Dallas and stuff like that. I'm kind of hoping I could see why Aaron Jones wasn't in this game. Because I really feel like they didn't want to take that chance. Because he had an MCL tear, right? And it's like, he didn't get surgery. They just let him heal is what it was.
Yeah.
It's something like, okay, if that was the case, then it ain't much for that to kind of go on you. So I guarantee, like, you know what, just wait till next week, play back in Green Bay, you'll be fine. But yeah, I'm with you on that. Like, this is one of those things where what we've been seeing, I think our bar is not set like here when it was here, right? Yeah. And I just feel like this is where we just need to keep it. And I'm telling you, like, this is the game where you just play all gas, no break. Just like, you know what LaFleur used to say, we need to go back to that because this is that kind of game.
Absolutely. Well said. With those injuries, let's just attack. Let's just go out there.
Yeah.
Be creative with that play calling, right? We've been seeing a lot of that the last
Let it rip.
month.
Let it rip,
right,
baby.
man?
That's it.
We've opened the playbook,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And like now with Watson out, we have to keep getting creative.
100%.
So let's talk a little bit maybe about the Giants. We talked a little bit about the Giants defense, right? Matching up not that well. They're
Right.
kind of ranked round 30 for rush and pass. Kayvon Thibodeau, he's been coming on strong lately. Something I noticed, right? A lot of things as a Packers fan to see this about this Giants defense and feel like hungry and like that we can get this. But Giants are good at third down stops.
Yeah.
They are good at, like, I think it was like they're like the fourth best team at stopping the third down conversions. But the thing is, the Packers are the sixth best team at converting third downs on offense. So I think that's a big battle to watch. As has been, they're in the top 5 for 3 and outs this year, which is wild to me. But so it's going to come down to just getting first downs. I like what Todd says here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unstoppable force versus an immobile object. That's what it is, right? Like they're good at one thing, we're good at one thing. Who's going to break? And hey, I'm putting my money on Love, man. That's all I got to say. I mean,
absolutely. I'm starting to put money down on him too. And like with those banged up interior linemen, right? They were talking about that was Ashawn Robinson and Dexter Lawrence, right?
Yeah.
Those two dudes, they are going to play. They are banged up. Let's run Dylan at them then, right?
Yeah.
Run that big body into their big body, right? Maybe somebody people see that as being going low because we know they're banged up and they almost didn't play. But man, attrition is part of the game.
Yeah.
And if you're going to put yourself out there, and I know you might be a little slow, you might have lost a step in your giddy up, or maybe it's your shoulder and you're a defensive lineman. I'm going to run on that shoulder all day with my, it's a battle out there, man. If you're going to put yourself out there,
You're 100% right. You're on the field. You're between the white lines. You got to take what comes with it, right? And the number one thing to go up against a premier pass rusher is run right at him. And you keep running at him. You keep running at him. You keep running at him, right? It's just like Marshawn Lynch. Just over and over and over and over. Like, it's true. And that's what you do in these situations. And I feel like this is one of those games where you really have to kind of like impose your power on somebody. Like if you impose your strength on them, like, because the Giants are playing literally a third or fourth string quarterback. Like here we go again, right? Like Tommy DeVito is a great story. There's a reason why Tyrod Taylor got activated because they might put him in second half. And I think what people don't want to remember is that last year when we played them in London, we were up 20-3 on them. Okay, we came out in the second half, and that second half was like the beginning of a downfall for the Packers. We lost like 5 in a row and it was all because we came out and they were showing single high and we just kept trying to go deep on them. And the truth was like, we shot ourselves in the foot. Like we really let them come back. And then of course, they ran the ball down on us, but if we were continually just pushing it like we were in the first half, game would have been like 40-5, 40-7 or something stupid, right? It wouldn't have been nothing, but no, Green Bay really, I felt like lost that game more than it wasn't like the Giants beat us. We lost, I mean, I know it's maybe semantics, but this is an opportunity for us to get some revenge. We are in their home, technically in London. The number of Packer fans I kept hearing were there. It was like a home game for us. So, it's time to get a little get back. And I don't want to say anything, but I'm just saying in 2010, we played a Giants team and we blew them out. And I still remember Jordy Nelson taking a play action pass to the house on a post route, which he did all his career. I still have that image in my head. And I can just see history repeating itself. I really can. I'm just trying to pull out every damn string I can think of at this point.
Yeah. Let's focus on this Packers defense versus the Giants offense here, right? Okay. We'll get into that a little bit more, right? Packers defense, right? Overall, middle of the pack. Our rush defense is bad. Our pass defense is rated good. Scoring, we're in the top 10 for scoring defense. All I can really say is stop Saquon, right? That's like the only thing I can really think of. Todd here in the comment section here, jump on them quick, make them throw, then send the dogs, right? Something I'm thinking, Elmer, let's get Jonathan Owens in the box, right? Get him on that field, get him in the box. Because I feel like that's one strategy of getting to Saquon, right? We know Owens is great in that run support.
Yep.
And just stack that box. And if DeVito beats us deep once this game, that's something I feel like I'm willing to take if we hold Saquon under 100 yards.
I was saying the same thing where Rudy Ford, a guy who I really love at the safety position, right? With Quay being out, I would find a way to get him on the field. I would find a way to play 3 safety sets. You got Savage, you got Owens, you're gonna have Ford, because Ford just finds a way to throw the ball. This dude's like what 5'8", 5'9", built like a shit brick house, 200 and some pounds, just a beast of a man, right? But dude, like he just always finds himself around the ball. The dude just always gets picks, fumbles, everything. And I just am like, you know what? I don't care what it takes. Just get his ass out there and just have him just do what you would normally have Quay do. Not saying like, the hybrid linebacker position. I'm not saying do that, but get as close as you can, because the truth is like you're going to need short tacklers. You need to stay in your gaps, and you just need to play sound football, because if you can control a line of scrimmage, like think about that. Like they're, like you just said previously, when it comes to offensive line, they have literally backups and backups playing. And if this is a game that I think Kenny Clark, Slayton, Lucas, Carl Brooks, our defensive line needs to get out. Like Carl Brooks has been nothing but probably one of the second best defensive linemen on our team right now. And we really need him to show up, because run support, pass rush, he's just everywhere. And every game he's making a play. Like he's just doing something. And I'm just like, we got this guy in the 5th round from Bowling Green? Like, what the hell? I mean, his workout numbers weren't great, but he is a football player. And I just can't wait. And we just picked up David Long, right, who was a corner, 3rd-round corner that the Rams had drafted. He played with Joe Barry, and he was coached up by Joe Barry and Evero when they were in Los Angeles. So there's a lot of experience, a lot of familiarity with the system. So he's active. He's on the team. He's active. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. And then you got Kenyon Drake coming in, who I've always been a fan of since his Alabama days. He is just a nasty player. Like he's just smooth, man. He's just smooth with it, and change of pace guy with him. Because I remember we saw James Robinson, and you and me were like, dude, look, he was running like a molasses. Like he was running slow. You're not gonna get that with Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake can move. And I just cannot wait. I just can't wait to see these new pickups come in and maybe make some noise. Why the hell not?
Absolutely. And like this Giants offense, right? I don't think it's much to worry about, right? I say get as many defensive looks out there as possible, because you got 150 yards, you got 150 passing yards a game. That's what like the Giants are averaging right now.
Yeah.
DeVito's going to be going out there, and I think his focus is going to be don't turn the ball over.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? And
100%.
So I think that's going to be the biggest thing is let's try to get those turnovers, right? Because they're going to be they're going to be trying to avoid that at all costs. Because if we can get a short field, or a defensive touchdown, this could, the Packers. If there's going to be a blowout tonight, it will be the Packers blowing the Giants out, right? I'm going to put that out there right now, because I'm not saying it's because the Giants don't have a chance at winning. I just don't see the Giants blowing the Packers out, offensively, right? It's gonna be one in the trenches. The Giants are gonna want this to be a knockdown, drag out fight, right? They're gonna they want this to be the Vikings Raiders part 2 on Monday night, right? They're gonna want like a 3-0 game again tonight.
You saw the Patriots game against them with 7-10? Like what the hell? Like no, I'm telling you, like their offense cannot score, and it's not like they've been playing some marquee defenses either. They just aren't a good team. And I get it, they are a team. I agree with Sanjay. They are a team with nothing to lose. Sad thing is that the NFC is so terrible right now that they actually have a chance to make the freaking playoffs. Because if they win out and they beat us, they may get the tiebreaker. It's ridiculous how bad the NFC is right now when it comes to win-loss record. But the truth is, you're right. This is one of those games where our pass rush really needs to get home. And we need to first make them get one-dimensional. We have to get up 2-3 scores, make them throw the ball, get away from Saquon. The truth is, they'll never get away from Saquon. They're going to push. And then we already know Joe Barry, bend but don't break. I mean, that's what he does, right? He's going to have you go up and down the field on him, and he's going to try you stopping the goal line. As long as he has more than 2 down linemen, I know that's a big topic of sensitivity when it comes to Matt LaFleur. I'm exposing myself right now by saying this, but the truth is like we need to do everything we can. And I mean, we know that our run defense sucks. The Giants know that our run defense sucks, right? And it's like, all right, Joe, like this is one of those times where you don't need to be worried about. If Tommy DeVito beats you, then Tommy DeVito beats you. That's terrible, then. And that just means that what have we been doing for the last 3 weeks? Like, have we just got lucky or what, right? But I'm 100% with you. Like, Jason Reverovich needs to earn his money, and he's been doing it these last 3 weeks. And I want him to keep doing whatever the hell he's doing because all I know is that our pass rush, when these guys are going back to pass, they ain't got much time. They are killing. And look, that is all. Sanjay is so right. He is so right. Saquon is probably the best running back since Bijan. Since like probably Bijan and playing those guys, right? And I mean, I know Saquon has some injuries coming into this year, and he's still recovering from stuff that he had last year. I'm just hoping that I got some of my family up in here. They're leaving some funny comments, but they're making me laugh and shit. They too funny. But the truth is though, like when it comes down to like you have to do everything you can to stop Saquon. I don't even care if you put like you put all 11 in the box. I don't give a shit. At the end of the day, you need to stop him and make Tommy beat you. That's what it comes down to.
Absolutely. And so talking about we've talked about all these different parts of the game and what we need to see from different position groups, different players. So let's get into that, talk about maybe some X factors. And if you're giving us a listen right now, throw your X factors in the comment section. We'll gladly talk about those X factors too. But let's start with you, Amar. Let's start on the offense. Offensive X factor for the Packers.
I think my biggest number one X factor is going to be Dontavian Wicks. I'm going to go with Wicks. I think he probably will be – I don't know if he'll start because Romeo and Jaden Reed might start, right? But the truth is like having him out there, having him playing a little bit of that like – I don't even know. He's like a big slot guy for some reason, right? Because they play him in the slot a lot. And he just gets open. Like he's literally like a bootleg version of Devontae Adams. The way he runs routes. I mean, that comparison's been made – since he got drafted. And so he's my number one X factor right now because I think like we may see a real big game from him. Yeah.
Sanjay is saying Reed and Kraft, and unfortunately Josiah in the blocking game with 6.
No. I know I'm not shaking at his things. He's right. Reed and Kraft. I'm with you.
Okay.
I'm 100% with you. No, I'm shaking my head because he's right. Unfortunately, Josiah's bitch ass is out there too. I don't want anything. I love that. He's a very nice guy. He don't need to be playing football. He need to go become a pastor or something. I just don't got time for this shit. I'm sick of it now. Short arm bastard can't block a damn freaking. He's like a mime out there with blocking schemes. Don't get me started on that, dude.
So I'll get into my X factor then before Ummer loses it. I talked about this earlier. I'm not going to go with a player. My Packers X factor on offense is converting on third down, right? We know Giants are good at stopping third downs. We know Packers are good at getting third downs, right? So that's it, man. Get those first downs. Get those sustained drives. Get those scoring opportunities. Keep that Giants defense out there, right? I have confidence we're going to stop this Giants offense and they're at the punt. But let's keep that Giants defense out on the field. Let's burn them out. Let's tire them down. And that's my X factor, man. Get those third downs. Get these drives going. Let Love find his rhythm. We got also right here, Todd is saying Heath could have a few big plays, right? We saw him put the shake on that Chiefs defender last week. I remember watching that play live. I was like, oh, that was nice. Then like watching the replay, I was like, oh my God. Like I didn't know how nice it was until I saw the replay.
Someone did a breakdown of that play. And he goes, oh shit, I lost my guy. The guy like bent over as he missed the tackle. Like, oh shit, I lost my keys. And like it was the funniest thing I ever heard. And no joke, that stopping a dime and bouncing back and taking up for a first down, it was absolutely sick. And the funny thing is people forget that he was the leading receiver at Ole Miss. Like Jonathan Mingo went in the second round because of his size, speed, workouts, right? And Malik didn't go get drafted because he had some off the field stuff that was vetted by the Packers, as well as his workout numbers weren't that great. but he was actually the better. He's actually the more polished receiver, and we see that. Yeah, he made. And what I loved in that game against Kansas City, he had that drop, right, where like Leo Chanel's kind of coming in his face and he dropped the ball, but he still hit him in the hands. Jordan even talked about that and said, I told him, hey, man, don't worry. I'm going to come right back to you. What did he do? Very next play, went right back to him, trusted him to get the first down. And that's exactly what he did. Not to bring up the old quarterback, but I'm just saying, I feel like in situations like that in the past, we would see guys drop the ball and make a mistake. They would get iced out. You don't have that with Jordan. Jordan doesn't have that kind of like, you know what I'm saying? He's all about anything I say is going to sound fucked up, but the truth is like he's about bringing the guys up with him, right? Like he knows that he's a young player too. So he's kind of like, yo, I know people are going to make mistakes. It's just not making the same mistakes again. And I think that's why we're doing so well is because these guys are learning from those mistakes instead of like seeing like that 4-game losing streak where shit was just going to hell, basically.
Yeah. And speaking of 4-game losing streaks, I know this is kind of a rabbit hole, but I just found out that Pete Carroll just had his first 4-game losing streak in Seattle this last week losing. That's bonkers to me that he went that long without a 4-game losing streak.
That's crazy.
Here's Todd saying, sustained success out there in Seattle. But here Todd is saying Nixon could be a factor on returns, been coming close too, right? Nixon's getting close to breaking another one, so there's maybe a special teams X factor. And you're right, Todd, right? That's something that could be really big in this game. That could be, this knockdown, drag-out fight. The Giants could drag us into this. A big Nixon return could be the piece that breaks us open, or is what takes Packers over the top. So let's get into defensive X factors. Don't want to run out of time. So if you got any defensive X factors in the comment section, throw them down there. And my friend Brett is here. He says the Bears have a defense again. We're not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk the Bears. Dog your ass out here. Lucky ass team. They got some lucky. They got a couple wins, and all of a sudden y'all got a defense. Oh, you played the Minnesota Vikings, dog. They scored 3 points just this week. You talking about a defense? Okay, all right, okay. Have your win. Have your 2 wins. Have fun.
Packers defense.
Yes.
Packers defense.
Let's get back on track. Crazy Brent.
Get the dog in the cage, man.
Seriously.
Packers defense. Let's hear it. Who's your Packers X factor, Amar?
Oh man, the easy one to say is Rashawn Gary, right? But
okay, yeah.
You better tell Brett to stop. You about to get me messed up. But no. When it comes to my X factor on defense, and I want to really see. I'm gonna probably go with Campbell because we're gonna really need him to play his best game with Quay being out. Like McDuffie was a guy I was thinking about too. The thing with McDuffie is he can't cover for shit, but he can fill gaps. He's a damn good run defense guy. He's all over the place. He can do his thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go with Devondre Campbell just because we're gonna need our former All-Pro linebacker to kind of show what he was all about. That got him that contract extension. Really gonna need him to step up because our defensive line I think is gonna do fine. But if anybody that gets past that first line of defense, it's gonna be Campbell and needs to kind of clean up.
Yeah. Good call. And Devondre Campbell has shown times that he's great in pass defense too. So it'd be great to see him helping the run game and then getting those big paws up and getting his hands on that football. Todd here saying Valentine gets a pick tonight. I would love to see anyone get a pick, but Valentine, I'd love to see Valentine grab that pick. For myself, it's something we've been talking about. We've been hammering it down. We've seen it in the comments section. We've been talking. And my X factor is just keep Saquon under 100 yards. I think we can still beat the Giants even if he breaks 100 yards. But I think if we hold him under 100, I feel like that almost guarantees us to win because it means he's going to get 20 plus touches tonight. And so if he ends up with less than 100 rushing yards, I think Packers definitely bring the W home tonight.
I want to say keep him under 100 scrimmage yards because I feel like he's going to get his yards.
Okay.
Like, I feel like he'll get his
Okay.
yards because Isaiah Pacheco got his. He got like 115 rushing yards on us last week.
Very true.
But did he get an end zone? Once, right? But for the most part, we kind of stymied them, right? I just think like Saquon's gonna get his. It's just don't let him take over the game because that's what they did last year. Like last year, they had that freaking bastard playing Wildcat like it was like Tony Sparango out there in Miami over there doing Wildcat with this dude, and he's like freaking running for 30, 40 yards. And I'm like, it was like Colin Kaepernick all over again. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, this is insane. And so we just cannot let this dude take over the game. That's it. Like, you can, if you shut down Saquon, you have a good chance of beating them.
Oh, hey, I think we can all agree with that. Just man, that's the only guy that's got me nervous tonight. To be honest with you, is Saquon.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So I know you typically don't like doing any kind of predictions, right?
No, sure. No score prediction. Nope. You know me. I'm gonna let you do it, dog. I ain't doing it.
All right. Well, hey, if you got any of your predictions, throw them down in the comments section. I'd love to hear them. My friend Brett's still trying to get under your skin there, Ummer. He thinks people are sleeping on the Bears.
I'm like, dog, you better. Okay, I don't know now.
I don't know about that either.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, dog.
But he says Bears are 5-4 in their last 9 games, and well, great. Man, we'll see, man. It's you know, I've already heard some other Bears fans that are hoping they get the chance to beat us in the final week, just like the Lions did last year. I've heard some of that too. You know, it's
yeah.
It's good. It's good for the game when Packers Bears is nasty and it's close. To say that.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Everyone
with that.
wants to tune into that. And,
I want Brett to come to the show on Monday. I want him to come to the show on Monday after Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett eats fucking Justin Fields for dinner, dog. I cannot wait. He talking all this shit right now. We're gonna play the damn freaking Browns in Cleveland, dog. Good luck. I enjoy this week. Ride sky high. You beat the Lions. Like, yay. Like, okay, just enjoy, dog. Enjoy.
Todd says, "Have a good game, boys. Pack by 11." And
Okay, all right. Todd always coming with positivity. I love Todd, man. Todd's always coming with positivity. So
I'm sticking to my prediction that I had on my show yesterday. Nothing changed with the injuries, information that I got today. I'm going 27-17 Packers. I think it's pretty close. I think at a point in the game, it's like 2017 Packers are up, but I think we finally force our first turnover, like in the fourth quarter when we get Tommy Cutlet in a passing situation. And so I think it's close. It's a battle, but I think, we end up coming away with a 10-point win. And, I'm feeling good about that. Getting that revenge from the London game. We got Miami here.
I like that, man.
24-7.
Let's put it this way. We were not favored against Detroit. We were not favored against Kansas City. We were not favored. We were barely, I think, favored against the Chargers, right?
Yeah.
We had a line of like 6.5. Now it's come down to 5.5. So for me, it's like, okay, I don't know if things are changing or maybe they're taking – because weather was supposed to be really bad. Come to find out that it's not as windy and there's no rain. So,
yeah.
I'll jump right into – I'll do my last words right now. Just keep it nice, short and sweet. Truth is, like – the Green Bay Packers have everything right there in front of them. They have an opportunity to do what they couldn't do last year, which is beat the Giants. And so far, they have beaten the teams that have given them a lot of trouble. And I really like the fact that these guys have been through some adversity already. They don't know any better when it comes to them being down 10 points or being up 14 points. They literally play like, hey, guess what? Like, they know their jobs are on the line when it really isn't. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they play with a lot of fire on their hair with their back against the wall. Yeah, I am really enjoying the fact that they'll have an opportunity here to close out, possibly win out, and then do something that no one believed they could do. Like, no one thought Green Bay was going to be where they are right now. This is a rebuild year. It's a retool year. All this bullshit. Jordan Love's not the guy. LaFleur is not the coach. And now the narrative has changed. And the truth is, like, I'm scared. Like, yeah, I'm worried that I don't want them to lose this game, get this stupid fucking game against a really bad football team. The truth is, though, we have a great opportunity to kind of just, take it to them and keep this pushing. And then I would love to hear what Brett has to say after this game. That's my last damn word.
All right, man. Well, hey, we're minutes away from kickoff. I don't want to keep you in case you gotta crack another cold one. Gotta grab a snack. Thanks for joining us for this pregame edition of Coast to Coast Packers. Packers are gonna face a playoff type atmosphere here. It just gets rowdy in the Big Apple, right? But by the game's end, we'll be dreaming about cheese. Apple season is over. Let's get it done tonight, fellas. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, Bears suck.
All right. We'll see you next week.